All new tonight, 16 months after the Maui wildfires, more new homes are taking shape in Lahaina, even in areas with complex issues. Our Daryl Huff tells us how some difficult permitting issues were resolved.
The jigsaw puzzle of houses and lots here at Kahua seemed like the biggest challenge for the county, and most important because this is where so many people died. But after a series of compromises with the community, things seem to be moving along.
It does kind of give us hope for the future.
Until recently, Jessica Kadiam and her neighbors in Kahoma's Kahua camp were in limbo as the county struggled with whether the former plantation subdivision could be rebuilt safely. More than 40 people died in Kahua when they were trapped by dead-end streets, fallen trees, and abandoned vehicles. There was talk of new evacuation routes, a land swap to expand lot sizes, and taking properties to widen roads.
We did meeting after meeting, and they surveyed most of the residents in the area, and they said that they would like to keep most of their property.
The priority came clear for us was to try and get people stabilized back on their properties as quickly as possible, and that became paramount very early on for us.
The plan emerged. Street parking would be banned. Residents will add parking on their own lots. They would have to build their houses to modern codes, but could keep their old floor plans, even if they were closer to the property lines and neighbors than the current laws allow.
So that gave us, a good feeling that with this very old town, a lot of structures beyond 100 years old, that this rebuild is really going to provide that resiliency and that improvement, because all these structures are going to be up to current codes now. And that's going to be a huge, gain from what the previous condition was.
So, like my neighbor, he's starting to build already. I mean, there's so many other neighbors that are building. They just want to get on with their lives.
The county also used a computer model to simulate evacuations, which showed that with 2 new entrances to the subdivision, residents could escape another fire. Does that fully reassure you about the safety of this neighborhood?
You can only go with what they say. At a certain point, you just have to trust that things are going to work out and that they have our interests at heart.
Rebuilding is also happening in the slightly newer subdivisions like Wahikuli, where again common sense was needed to get houses up, like waiving requirements to replace cesspools because the county's promising to build a new sewer system in a few years. In other places, like near the shoreline, homeowners are giving up square footage because of shoreline setbacks and size thresholds.
Being this is a situation that nobody was prepared for, it's kind of learn as you go,
Community activist and construction manager Kekai Keahi is helping on homes for a number of friends and family. He says he's seeing contractors take advantage of some homeowners, charging more than double the reasonable rate.
Some of them accepting these kind of outrageous prices per square foot is just based on them being desperate and wanting to get home.
But other contractors are operating with aloha, like the one who found Earl Kukahiko.
The contractor that we had is someone that I coached in Little League, and I believe it was the second or third day he called me and he says, "Coach, I'm in front of your house," and he says, "I'm going to rebuild your new one." And so I said, "Wow, thank you."
Kukahiko is hoping to move in by next summer. Jessica Kadiam and her 6 kids by the end of 2025.
2.5 years. Yeah,
Which,
roughly.
How does that compare to what you thought when you saw?
In the beginning, they were like, it's going to be 5 years, 5 to 10 years.
The other big development here is that most residents have found longer-term housing solutions so they can be comfortable while they wait to come home. Reporting from Lahaina, Daryl Huff, Hawaii News Now.